Hi everyone, my name is Dean Dagum from Bsece 3C, and in this video I will show you the performance task number 3 and in ECE 23. And our activity is based on our school ID number. And my school ID number is 184643A, and the last digit is 3, which equivalent to PWM or pulse width modulation and NADS or natural something single-sided 2 levels. So here is a sample of single-sided 2 levels PWM. And so here is an illustration of how we can generate pulse width modulated signal and pulse position modulated signal by using a simple circuit. So in order to generate a PWM output here, we need a modulating signal here, which is analog. With this analog signal, this is our analog waveform here, and we need to just compare it using the circuit here. We need to just compare it using this circuit, compared comparator. We'll just compare it using this sawtooth waveform. So when you compare the value of waveform, for example here in this region or during this period here, the input analog modulating signal voltage is greater than the sawtooth waveform. Now, as you can see, the waveform of our analog signal is higher compared to the voltage of our sawtooth waveform. So if that is the case, there is just a simple rule for the comparator. It just compares the two input signals. The two input signals here is the sawtooth in the analog waveform. If the modulating signal is higher compared to the voltage of the sawtooth generator, and the output is 1 or positive 1. However, if the waveform sawtooth generator is higher compared to the modulating signal, the output is a lower or negative 1 signal. Or the modulating signal has a higher value, so our so as you can see here, the output of our input signal or the modulating signal has a higher value, so our output here is positive 1 here, positive 1. So what we can observe for this diagram here, and for this region, the sawtooth waveform is higher compared to the analog input signal here in this region. Analog input signal, that's why the output value, which is negative 1 here in this region, and let's say the minimum value of which is negative 1 here, and we have negative 1 for the next period here and here. Looking at this diagram, the voltage of our analog signal is higher compared to this waveform. That's why we have a high signal, so it just follows the same principle as we complete the PWM output comparator here. As you can see, if the voltage of the input signal is negative or below 0, we have a short duration or short width here of our output signal. However, if the amplitude is high here, our output width, the output signal, analog signal input, the width is wider here. We have the PWM output signal is easily generated by just using a comparator and a sawtooth generator here. As a result, you have an output which is a pulse modulated output. So the pulse of the position depends on the width of the PWM signal, which is also corresponds to the amplitude of your original modulating signal. Again, if the what do you call that? The higher the amplitude of your analog signal, the wider the width of the output PWM signal. If the lower the amplitude of your analog signal, the output signal of the PWM signal is what we call that is narrower or narrowed. As a result, you have here an output which is as a pulse modulated output, so that pulse of the position corresponds to the width of your PWM signal, which corresponds to the amplitude of your original modulating signal. When we try to convert the analog signal into its PWM output, what we are actually is we are sampling the amplitude. We are checking, or we are comparing the amplitude of the input modulating signal as compared to the sawtooth waveform here. Another term for this comparison is sampling or sample. For this comparison is sampling, or we are getting the sample at that point of that intersection here and here. So you cannot compare without taking a sample. That's all. Thank you.